So I guess I'll introduce myself really quickly. I'm Aurora. I am 23 years old. I live in Illinois. And I'm really excited to be a part of weWITHOUtborders. I mean, we were all in Project Excellent, and I loved Project Excellent, don't get me wrong. But I feel like where we are now is so much more conducive to this channel, to this whole idea. Like, I think we all have grown up, and we have more opinions and more things to say, and yeah. So, this is weWITHOUtborders. Now, on to the time capsule part. So, a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, we made these time capsule videos where we asked ourselves questions, and I did 10 years in the future, and obviously it's only been 3 years. But my life has completely changed. So first of all, when I made this video, I was blonde. We're not talking like a little blonde, I was blonde. But more importantly, I was 20 years old, and I had no idea where I was going, what I was doing, what my major was going to be, nothing. I ended up studying audio production, and I worked at National Public Radio for a year, and then after that I ended up getting a job here in Bloomington Normal, which is like 3 hours from where I'm from, basically. And I left all of my friends, I left all the people I was really close to, and I moved down here, and luckily my sister lives down here, one of my older sisters. And so luckily I had that support system. But I got a job at a company that makes assistive technology for blind people, and I do social media and their videos and customer relations. So that's pretty cool. Like, I like what I do. It's not really using my major as much as I thought it would, but it's a good job. And even on shit days, I can come home and just be like, I did something good today, you know? The other thing, I guess the main thing that's different about me is I realized how unhappy I was back then, especially going through and watching all of those videos, especially the time capsule video, because I talked about happiness, and it took me a long time to admit this, but I have been struggling with depression my whole life. And especially at that time in my life, it got pretty dark at times. And I blamed everything on stress from school, thinking that I was just putting too much of myself into it. You know, I was just running myself ragged, which I was, but that wasn't the cause of this. Because after I graduated, I had to take a step back, and I still had all this weight on my shoulders, but I didn't have school anymore. So I kind of had to reevaluate things, and you know, I've evened myself out, and I'm on medication now, and I think I've just matured a lot as well. But when I still ask myself, am I happy? It's sort of like a day-to-day thing. You know, there are days when I'm just like, this is my life, this is what I've chosen, this is like, sometimes things don't go well, but I'm doing great. And then there are days where I'm like, why did I leave my friends? I used to have a social life, you know? And I try to keep a positive outlook, though. My sort of life motto that I've adopted now is, things are gonna work out because they have to. The only time things don't work out is when you give up. And even in like my worst times, I was never gonna give up. I was just sort of taking a break. So, I mean, that's the main thing. And my relationship with my parents has changed a lot too. I mean, back then I was living with them, and it was a mess, and you know, I didn't like them, and they didn't like me, and so now we're a lot better off. I'm not going to say we have the perfect parent-daughter relationship, but it's a lot better. Other than that, the only major change is I date now. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm dating like 3 people, but I mean, I put myself out there. All in all, I would say that for less, in my time capsule, I assumed that I was going to be, I assumed that I was going to be responding to myself 10 years in the future. It's only been like 3.5, and I think I'm doing pretty darn well. So stay tuned. Hopefully you are interested in what's going on with us, and yeah, I'm just breaking everything. Okay. Happy Friday.